Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, Mr. Singh. Hi. Hi, you guys. Welcome to this evening's live session. My name is Rohan Jagadeesh. I am an IPS officer of the 2018 exam and 2019 batch. So I'm writing down the kind of things that I want to address you today evening. So today we're going to address prelims, okay? On how to approach prelims and what we need to do in prelims and how to ensure that we get success in prelims. Okay, so as you know, the toughest part of the exam, okay, the most difficult portion of the exam is prelims. So every year, about 12 lakh people write the exam, okay? Out of 12 lakh people, 6 lakh people almost appear for the exam, and out of which you have to know, each of you all need to know this, that there are less than 2 lakh people that are extremely serious about the exam. Hello again to all of you guys. I mean, all of you are saying hello. So, hello. Hello, Naveen. Hello, Suman. So, hello, Mr. Tarun Kumar Chaukidar. So, yes, so hello to you guys. So, as I was telling you, among the 12 lakh people that actually take up the exam, 6 lakh people write it, and on which just 2 lakh people are absolutely serious. So these 2 lakh people are extremely dedicated, motivated, and they have done everything possible to ensure their selection in pre. So you're going to ask me how to do pre, right? So in pre, we'll first look at the kind of books that you need to do, okay? And remember one thing, okay? It's not about how many books you read, it's about how many times you read the same book, okay? So the key is revision. Please write it down, each of y'all. The key is revision. Okay. So we'll go through the book list for all of y'all that need to know about it. So the base book for every single thing in prelims is NCERT. Okay. So class 6 to 12 of NCERT. Okay. So Mansi. So Mansi is asking me what my graduation is. So I'm a lawyer. Okay. I'm a lawyer by profession. I passed out in the year 2015. And I have a degree in BA, LLB, and I specialize in economics. So if you see, I have 3 degrees together in one. So yes, so like I was telling you, the base, okay, the base of prelims is NCERT. Vikas is asking me whether it's new NCERT or old NCERT. I'm here to tell you that there is no difference. Please prioritize on the new ones. It doesn't matter, okay? So some people say that geography's old NCERT has world resources in abundance and so on and so forth. So please don't go by all of that. Please first stick to NCERTs, do the new NCERT, do them 6 to 12. Don't skip anything. Primarily for geography, history, polity, economics, do them, okay? One more thing I want to tell you is that the NCERTs for science and technology can be avoided. Okay, and secondly about coaching. I think Akash asked me about coaching, whether it's important to take coaching or not. Okay, in my opinion, if you have a good internet connection with access to all the resources and the newspaper on a daily basis, then you do not need to take coaching. You can very well crack the exam by having a good guide. Okay, so when I was preparing, I had a senior who guided me very closely. So even if I had the lamest of doubts, right, even if I had even the most simplest doubts, I would go to him and I asked him, "Bhai, please tell me what to do." So he would help me. So always ensure that you have a guide. So the second thing is somebody is asking me how to choose an optional subject as well as how to do environment. So we'll go through all of that. Okay, so we'll go through all of that. Okay, so for polity, okay, it's always going to be NCERT plus Lakshmikant. Okay, so please ensure that you do Lakshmikant line by line, line by line. Okay, I can't emphasize enough. Most people will not be doing Lakshmikant line by line. Okay, so please do it. If you're not doing Lakshmikant, don't jump to any other material. Just NCERT and Lakshmikant will enable you to tackle almost 85% of the polity questions that come in pre. Okay, that's number one. For geography, NCERT is the key. Please do every line of geography. You should know how to do geography in such a way that you can explain geography to someone who's at least in a lower class. Okay, so please do that. Along with that, please take the Goching Leong, okay, like the GC Leong. The GC Leong is a fantastic book which will help you write tricky questions in mains. Okay. And then somebody is asking me about my timetable, about history optional, about somebody who wants to DM me. You can definitely DM me on my personal DM and I will reply to you, any of you all, when you have. Of course, it is a little difficult to DM each of you all at this point of time because of the tight schedule that most of us have. We'll also talk about note making. I'm going to make a note of note making over here so that we're talking about it. Okay. And then we're going to talk about books. Books we're talking about. Okay. So to summarize, somebody is asking me what my age is. I'm 27 years old. Okay. My age is 27. I started my UPSC preparation at the age of 24. Okay. So as you know, I'm a lawyer. I graduate at the age of 23. It's a 5-year course. So I started at 24. In my first attempt, I failed prelims because I just wrote the exam as soon as I graduated. So I failed prelims in my first attempt. In my second attempt, I studied hard. Again, I failed prelims. It was my second failure. In my third attempt, I got a rank and I became an IPS officer. So the important thing that you need to take from this is that you have to work hard, be dedicated, be very motivated, and keep that fire alive within you. Okay, you should keep the fire alive. You know, when you keep the fire alive, you should prove it to everybody out there that you know that you are the best and you can make everybody proud. Okay, you need to have it. Okay, when you go out there, you can keep your head held high. You know, somebody was telling me once that if you keep your head low and you study for 2 years, for the next 40 years, you can keep your head held high. You can go everywhere and everybody will know you, will recognize you. Okay, so keep that spirit alive. Okay, coming back to the books. Okay, so somebody is asking about time management. We will talk about time management also. Okay, this is going to be a very motivating and an inspiring session. So please keep tuned. And somebody asked me why I failed 2 attempts. I will tell you why I failed. Okay, this is why I'm telling you to listen properly. The first 2 attempts I failed because I did not take NCERT seriously. So what I did was I did not study the NCERTs properly, but without doing the NCERTs, I read Ramesh Singh, I read Lakshmikant, I read all the other books like Goching Leong, but I had not done NCERTs. Why? Because I thought, what is the use of the NCERT? It's like a basic book that someone from 6th to 12th is doing. So why should I do it? I'm already a lawyer. So this is what I thought, right? So I ignored the NCERT. So I'm asking you not to ignore it. NCERTs को definitely ignore मत करो आप लोग, okay? So polity is NCERT plus Lakshmikant, and then for geography it's NCERT plus Goching Leong, and after that for economics I did NCERT plus Mrunal. Okay, the Mrunal videos of 2014 and 15 is extremely good. He's explained the concepts very well. Although the current affairs is kind of old, for the basic concepts Mrunal is excellent. Okay, so basically he has about 60 videos and each video is 1 hour each. So what happens is you'll feel that it's very long. Okay, it's very long and it takes too much time. But you know, if you have something big, okay, if you have something big, you have to break it down into smaller pieces. Okay, so every day do 1 video. In the next 60 days you will do it. Okay, in the next 60 days you will do it. Somebody is asking me in what rank they can get IPS or IRS and IFS. We'll get to ranks and services later. I will answer that question. Okay. So right now the key is prelims. If you don't pass prelims, you don't write mains. If you don't write mains, you don't go for interview. If you don't go for interview, you will not get a rank. If you don't get a rank, then you will not get a service. So let's first focus on prelims. Okay. So to summarize, we've gone through polity books, geography books, economic books. Okay, so we've gone through these 3. So now environment. Okay, environment is a very important portion of the exam. I'm sorry, I will talk slower. IS, IPS lover. Okay, I will talk slower because of course it may be a little difficult for you to understand. For environment. Okay, so I want to tell you about environment. Just do Shankar's environment book. Okay, do it line by line and solve every question. That is Shankar's environment. Don't do anything else. And then for science and tech, many people might have told you do NCERTs, science and tech, but I'm telling you it's not required. Okay, in prelims these days nobody is asking you stomata leaf में कहाँ पे होता है, or like for example nobody is asking you, you know, the function of the zygote or the phloem or so on and so forth. So NCRTs की जरूरत नहीं है for NCR for science and technology, but I will advise you to do the basic current affairs which you're doing through the newspaper, as well as you know, like the daily current affairs or the monthly magazine. So please do that. Okay, so that one. So we've gone through polity, geography, economics, environment. Somebody asked me what the source for economics is again. So the source for economics is NCRTs plus Mrunal videos is what I followed. In addition, you can also follow this book called Shankar Ganeshan, which is a small book for NCRT. I would not advise Ramesh Singh. Yeah, see, the thing is, it's very simple, okay? Ramesh Singh is almost 1,000 pages, right? It's 1,000 pages. If you see the NCRT book, it's printed on one side, right? It's printed on one side. So by printing on one side, it's actually making your life simple. This Ramesh Singh, what he does is, he takes that big 1,000-page book, he writes on two portions of one page, so that's double the information. Just tell me something, okay? You'll have 12 to 15 questions maximum in prelims from economics. In these 12 to 15 questions, almost 6 to 8 questions will be based on current affairs, which you will be doing anyway. So you will be able to solve it. Usme 3 questions, nobody can solve it because it will be so technical. Out of that 4 questions, everybody may know 50% of the questions, so everyone's equal footing. So for this much, for doing one extra questions, do you want to do 1,000 pages? For this, you have to decide whether you want to do the 1,000 pages of Ramesh Singh, but I would not suggest it. Okay? Then science and tech is current affairs. What else? Some people will ask what is for art and culture. See, art and culture, you'll have 2 to 3 questions in prelims. Okay. For those 2 to 3 questions, do you think it's necessary to do Nitin Singhania? Okay, that is also again so big, that book. And when you go write the exam in prelims, will you be able to remember every detail? You won't be. Okay, Anuj is asking me how to read the newspaper, how to prepare for essay. We'll do newspaper and essay. Yes, good questions, guys. Good questions. A lot of you all are replying. How to choose optional. Yes, we'll do that. Which newspaper to read. We'll do that. Rakesh is saying Namaskara, Guru Namaskara, Chanaidira. So, yes, so we'll do that as well. Which is the best optional subject? We'll get to that question. Definitely we'll do that. Okay. And somebody is asking me, some selected topics will be covered by Ramesh Singh. Definitely. There are, of course, some selected topics, like, for example, investment models, okay, which is your mains topic. Like, for example, hybrid annuity model, or, you know, build, operate, own, transfer. Such things are there in Ramesh Singh. But the same things are also there in current affairs. We follow it in a yearly basis. Malik is asking me if I'm a Kannadavanu. Haudu, nan Kannadane matadadu, Bengaluru nanu. So, yes, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಲಿಸನ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಅ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ರೀಚಸ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ we've come to art and culture. So for art and culture, you can do the NCRTs. Okay, along with the NCRTs, you do your current affairs and you'll be able to cover it. Okay, so what I'm saying is, this exam, what has happened is, everybody gives you such complicated strategies that you'll sometimes forget that simplicity is the golden rule. Simplicity is the golden rule. Okay, so keep it simple, but keep revising constantly. Somebody is asking me, what is the height limit for various services? We can do that. Okay, so we'll do that. Pakka, we'll definitely do that. And you know, we're talking about what kind of newspapers to read. We'll do that as well. The last thing I want to talk about is history. Okay, history is very important. Okay, NCRTs is of key importance to history. Okay, I cannot emphasize enough why you should do this. So in what happens in NCRTs is that in history you have so much analysis. Okay, so always please ensure that you do the NCRTs line by line for history. Along with that, please do Spectrum. Okay, Spectrum by Rajiv Ahir IPS is an extremely good book. Every single detail is fantastic. Please do Spectrum. About Bipin Chandra, whether you should do Bipin Chandra, I don't think you should do it. Again, it's 1,000 pages. Anytime you pick up a big source, okay, anytime you pick up a big source, okay, either Bipin Chandra either Ramesh Singh, either Budget and Economic Survey, either Nitin Singhania. Just ensure, will you be able to do it multiple number of times? If you can't, don't do it. Santosh is asking me whether body tattoos are allowed in the IPS. I don't know. I think they may check you, and if it's not a visible body tattoo, imagine if you have it something on the shoulder, then I think it should be fine. But if you if you have a tattoo somewhere on the face, then I'm pretty sure it would be difficult for you. So please, if you have something on your face or something visible over here or something, then please do get it removed. So that being said, okay, so that is about the book list. Okay, so please revise. The thing is to revise. Newspaper. How are we going to do newspaper? Okay, in most cases, you have to read the newspaper from the perspective of information. Okay, not knowledge. Okay, because what happens is most of us, we take the newspaper. I've seen aspirants. Okay, so let's assume this is the newspaper. Okay, so you open the newspaper, you sit in front of the newspaper, you take a pen with you, and you keep underlining the newspaper. Okay, you keep underlining it. I've seen some people cutting the newspaper and putting it in the book and saving it. It's not wrong, but at the same time, can you definitely be able to revise it? If you can, then do it. But I would suggest that it's not possible. I have seen many people not revising. If you don't revise, you don't pass. Okay? Take it from me. If you don't revise, you don't pass. Okay? So, I think Dian is asking me what is the height requirement and the eye requirement for the IPS. So, the height requirement is 165 centimeters for men, and I think about 150 or so for women. There is a certain exemption if you come from the northeastern states and if you belong to one of the tribes. And apart from that, for eye, I don't think it's very strict. As long as you don't have color blindness, it should be fine. And so please make sure that you take a thorough test before you go for the medical test in the UPSC. It's a full day test that happens right the day after your prelims. It happens in one of the 6 to 7 hospitals that the UPSC recommends. It's all in Delhi. So you have to take a look at that. Okay, coming back. How to do the newspaper, right? Please do the newspaper as a source of information. Okay, so please take the newspaper, read it, get a holistic understanding about what's happening in the world. So newspaper, right? So how do you do current affairs? Current affairs has two aspects. One is vertical, the second one is horizontal reading. So vertical reading is, I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, ISRO launches 5 satellites on a GSLV. Let's assume that is the current affairs of the day. Okay. Now, what happens is guys, I think I'll turn off the comments for a bit because I think it's disturbing all of y'all. Okay, I think this is how you do it. Okay, I don't know how to turn off the comments. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, hold on. Turn off commenting. Right, so the comments are turned off. I'm only doing this because you guys will have better clarity about the thing. So now, current affairs, okay? So I was telling you, so what the newspaper gives you is information. Imagine, they say ISRO is launching 10 satellites on a GSLV. Let's assume that that is the current affairs of the day. So now, what the newspaper will say, okay, fine, ISRO is launching 10 satellites. It's a historic event. India is growing on a magnificent scale and all, is what the newspaper will say. But what is required for UPSC is, what is ISRO? Okay, what are the bodies of ISRO? What are the arms of ISRO? What are the functions of ISRO? So you have to do a horizontal reading. In addition, what is a GSLV? Okay, what is the difference between a GSLV and a PSLV? What is geosynchronous? What is geostationary? So these kind of things you need to know. Okay, so this is what you have to keep in mind. So to do this, I would advise you to do the current affairs from the newspaper along with daily current affairs from a website. Okay, like a website like Vision or Insights Daily Current Affairs or GS Score, anything. You just have to do it on a daily basis. So I would suggest that if you do it, it's much better for you. So newspaper, which is better? Whether, I think you guys want comments. Okay, hold on, we'll turn it on. We'll get back to the height and chest measurements of, IPS. We'll get back to all of that. And, the other thing that I want to tell you is, please do daily current affairs. Okay. from any website, JS Core, Vision, whatever. It's your wish. Please do it. So once you do it, you'll be able to understand things much better. Which newspaper to choose, it doesn't matter. You do Hindu, you do Indian Express, you do Times of India, it doesn't matter. Okay? Please do any newspaper as a source of information. Some people will say the Hindu is a left-based newspaper. The Indian Express is a right-based newspaper. The Times of India is a center newspaper. So all these things are there. Somebody is asking me how to do the NCRTs, whether to do it from class 6 to 12, height requirements, how many hours did you study, which newspaper. Yes, so newspaper, like I was saying, you have to do either of the newspapers, but do it well. Okay. Along with this, somebody is asking me about time management. Okay. Do listen carefully. Okay. Do listen carefully. One day has 24 hours. Okay. There is 24 hours in one day. Okay. So you have to spend at least 8 to 10 hours studying. Okay. I'm not saying more. 8 to 10 hours studying. So even if you study 10 hours, okay, even if you study 10 hours, you still have 14 hours left. Okay. In these 14 hours, you have to sleep at least for 8 hours. Right? 8 hours if you don't sleep, your mind is going to be disoriented, you're going to get bored, you're going to get lazy. So sleep for 8 hours. You still have 6 hours left. In these 6 hours, even if you spend 1 hour for breakfast, 1 hour for lunch, 1 hour for dinner, you still have 3 hours. In these 3 hours, you have fun. Go out with your friends, talk to them, enjoy, talk to your family, do all of these things, enjoy. Okay, so I would suggest 8 to 10 hours of studying. So this is what I did for the next 8 to 10 hours. And how to read the newspaper. Okay, somebody is asking me, Mitu is asking me how to read the newspaper. So reading the newspaper is pretty simple. Okay, you have to read the newspaper based on the syllabus of UPSC. Okay, imagine the syllabus is more oriented towards JS1, JS2, JS3, JS4. Take it, read the polity aspect of it, read the economics aspect of it, read all these aspects of the syllabus in the newspaper. Okay, so please do that. And somebody is asking me about note making. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Please don't make notes if you cannot revise it. Okay, please do not make notes if you cannot revise it. Only make stuff that you can revise. Okay, so please, there's already notes made, right? There's already notes made. Somebody is asking whether you have to do 8 to 10 hours of continuous study. No. Nahi chahiye. No need to do 8 to 10 hours of continuous study. You can do 2 hours, take 20 minutes break. You can do another 2 hours and you take another 20 minutes break. You can do another 2 hours. So you'll be able to do it. Okay. But my sincere advice to you is to take those 8 hours very seriously. Okay. Somebody is saying, Miliu is asking whether you need to have a partner while studying. Not a bad idea. Sometimes studying with a partner is very motivating. Because you have more company, you have more friendship, and it's more fun. So I think it's not a bad idea. Okay, so if you have a good partner, then definitely good idea. What's the next one? Somebody asked me about newspaper and essay. So in essay, right, please take 10 topics: women, child, poverty, education, health, society, and international relations. So make all the dimensions available. Okay, all the dimensions available. Okay, take all the dimensions and please start making dimension based on the thing. What is it? The syllabus. Somebody is asking me, is being in a relationship bad while while studying? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if you have a boyfriend, you have a girlfriend, it's okay, as long as they're motivating. Imagine you're studying and if your partner's troubling you daily, saying that, you're not giving me enough time and you're not giving me enough attention, then of course it's difficult. But if you have someone supportive, then it is definitely helpful and it's very nice. Okay, so please, if you have someone, please don't leave them and please develop your relationship in a positive way. All the best to you. For the person that asked me the question, I'm assuming you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, so please go with that. Essay topics, right? So there are 10 topics that you need to take, okay? 10 topics like women, child, environment, poverty, education, society, and IR. So these kind of topics you take and you make broad frameworks. And for everything, you take things like, like one poetry, one quote, one story for all dimensions. So once you do that, you'd be able to, write proper essays. So ranks and services, somebody asked me something about optional, how to choose the optional. So now there is no golden rule to choosing an optional. Okay, that definitely isn't a golden rule. The only basic rule that you need in choosing an optional is whether you have interest in it. Okay, the second one is whether you have available resources. The third one is whether you will be able to stick with the optional. Okay, so if you have all these possibilities, then please choose your optional. See, in my first 2 attempts, my graduation is law, right? I'm a lawyer. So I thought I'll take lawyer. Okay. So I'll take law as an optional is what I thought. But then I realized that it's a really, really big optional in spite of me having a degree in it. Okay. So I took that. Somebody is asking me where I'm from. So I'm from the state of Karnataka. I'm from Bangalore city. Okay. And so that's the thing, right? So you take an optional which you can live with. So as you can see, anthropology has been doing very well over the past couple of years. Literature subjects are not doing too great. And political science does average. Sociology is just about the same. Mathematics has been very unpredictable. It goes up and it comes down. So you please, you please take care of that. Chetan, hi Chetan, ಹೇಗಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. So yes, so this is what is important. What else? Rank and services. Okay, so we'll talk about how to get ranks and services. Okay, so I'll tell you this year how it worked for us. So this year there were totally from the prelims 10,445 people qualified for mains. Okay, 10,445. Out of this 10,445 people, around 1,994 people, okay, 1,994 people qualified for interview. Out of that, okay, 759 ranks were announced. Okay, this year we feel that the IAS has stopped at 95 or 96. Okay, IFS, we're not exactly sure because we don't really have the combination available, but IFS will stop. See, there are 33 seats in IFS. So if you go by mathematics, 50% will go to general and 50% will go to rest. So you can assume that the IFS will stop at around, say around 120, 130, sometimes even more, depending on preferences. Okay, these are just general cutoffs which I'm talking about. So please do due consideration. And Zuhail Manzoor, hello, you wanted me to say your name, I'm telling you your name. Safa is asking me what my age is. I'm 27 years old. Somebody is asking me whether I came to Delhi for coaching. No, I have not been to Delhi for coaching at all, except for my interview in UPSC Bhavan in Shah Jahan Road. That was the only time I came to Delhi, and that was the last time. So maybe next time when I come, I'll be in uniform. So yeah. Yes, so IPS has stopped this year at 235, I think. Okay, so depending on your category, you will be able to know where it's where these things will be helping you. So 1 second. Sorry for that. I got a phone call, so something happened. So anyway, so that's the thing. Okay, so you please get to know about these things. And similarly, how to be motivated, right? We'll answer this very important question. You know what happens in UPSC, right? Besides all of this studying, all of these things. The most important thing is to have good motivation. You know what happens in UPSC is when you write your first attempt, everybody is so eager. You know, in your houses, everybody says, oh my God, my son and my daughter are going to become collector, they're going to become DM, they're going to become Bada Saab, right? Everybody is going to say that. So imagine in your first attempt, if you don't clear the exam, everybody will be like, chalo theek hai, it was difficult exam, so people could not clear the exam. In the third attempt, if you don't clear the exam, they'll start saying, from my friend's experience, yeah, this guy does not study well. He has just gone to Delhi or he's gone to Bangalore and he's just wasting his father's money, wasting his mother's money. He's not doing anything. He's a nalayak, right? This is what they'll start saying. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to be very motivated. My sincere suggestion is not to tell anybody you're preparing for the exam. Okay. Just tell people that, मैं कुछ masters कर रहा है, something. Okay. You say, I used to tell everybody I'm doing a master's in law and I was preparing for UPSC. So this is what I used to do. And believe me, even if you don't tell anybody right now, even if you don't tell anybody right now, okay, once you get your result, on the day you get your rank, and the day you become an IPS officer, or the day you become an IAS officer, the day you become an IFS officer, the full city will know, okay, the entire city will know that you became an officer, you became the star, okay, so you wait for that time. Okay, so somebody once said that if you want to be bright like the sun, then you got to burn like the sun, right? So you have to do that. So don't. Okay, and secondly, please stay away from all your relatives. Okay, your relatives are your biggest enemies sometimes. Okay, they will start telling you stuff that you are not necessary. They will tell you stuff that this is not possible, that is not possible, you're not good, you're not motivated, you're not working hard, you're not studying hard, and they'll tell you stuff like, I'm from South India and I did not go to Delhi to study for UPSC. So the first thing anybody told me was, beta, you didn't go to Delhi for coaching, you're definitely not going to pass. So this is what everybody told me. Okay. And I was like, yaar, what nonsense. I mean, I want to sit at home and study, or I want to go to a library over here and do my work. Please, I'll do my own work. So these days, I've made it a point to tell everybody that you don't have to go to Delhi for coaching, nor do you have to go to any coaching. You can sit by yourself and study with proper guidance and motivation, and you will pass. Okay, you will definitely pass. So this is what I want to tell you. So you stay away from all these relatives, this Sharmaji uncle's wife and all that nonsense you encounter, right? Don't tell them about UPSC. When you become, I'll tell you what happens, okay? So when you fail like twice or thrice, everybody will say, they'll talk like this, okay? I always knew that this boy was extremely lazy. He will not be able to clear the exam. I told him in the beginning only. Okay, so this is what they tell you. But if you pass the exam, that same person will come and tell you, I always knew that this person was definitely going to clear the exam. So this is how people are. Okay, so you make sure that you address all of these people, give them a slap on their face by studying hard. A lot of people have even ridiculed me. Everybody has said, yeah, you won't clear the exam, you're a fun guy, you're doing this, you're always going out, you're enjoying, you're doing this, doing that, and everybody is you have to be more hardworking, you're not the smartest student, you have to work 20 hours, you have to work 16 hours and all, and I'm just sitting and studying, and then everybody told me this. But then once I cleared the exam, everybody is like, he's the best child in the family, he's the best son, he's the best cousin. Everybody says this, I only taught him everything, I only motivated him, I only inspired him. Everybody will take credit. Okay, but inside you will know that you have done the work, you are successful because of your own hard work, and that satisfaction is priceless. Okay, so I will tell you that you definitely have to work hard. Okay, there's nothing bigger than you, right? Somebody is asking me, sir, आपने कब सोचा UPSC? Will you clear UPSC? No, man, never thought I will clear UPSC. 1 second, I just need to get my charger. Okay. Instagram drains a lot of battery. Okay, 1 second. Instagram drains a lot of battery. Yes. My name, okay, somebody's asking me my name. My name is Rohan Jagadeesh. You can Google my name you can Google my name and you'll find articles which I have written. I have a Quora page in which I write articles about the exam. So you can Google. My name is Rohan Jagadeesh. I'm an IPS officer. So motivation is of utmost importance. Okay, please don't lose it. Okay, a lot of people, what happens is we'll get very disturbed by all these negative comments that people keep throwing at us. Right? We'll always be thinking that we're not as good as people. We're not as good as others. Yeah. So many times I felt, okay, that I have not studied in an IIT. I have not studied in a national law school. I am not a doctor. I am not from AIMS. Will I be able to clear the exam? I've thought about this many times, okay? So I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're from IIT, IIM, law school, AIMS. It doesn't matter, yaar. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is whether you're willing to work hard, okay? Can you work hard? Can you do your best? Can you ensure that you will be successful? If that is possible, anything is possible. You know that, right? Anything is possible. Anything. So I'll tell you a story about my batchmate, okay? You can Google about him. He's ranked 700, but you have to know that he has stage 5 hearing disability. Stage 5. Okay? His parents are daily wage laborers. Okay? He comes from a small town in Karnataka, and his parents are daily wage laborers, and he cracked the exam. If he can do it with so much disability, then any of us can do it. Okay? And each of y'all can. Somebody is asking me what my optional is. My option is political science and international relation. So that's my optional. It's very hot. Yeah, Bangalore's becoming so hot these days, man. Global warming is kicking in so much. So yes, please save the planet. We have a long way to go. Okay, so somebody is asking me whether you must choose an optional based on your degree. Not necessary. You can choose any optional that you want as long as you're able to, sustain with the optional. Okay. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you for all the love and support that you guys are giving me. For all the things that you guys are sharing. Parul, Chandresh, Harshit Chabra, Supan, Kalpana Kohli. All of y'all, thank you so much. I try my best to motivate all of you so that each of y'all will clear the exam. Somebody asked me how I felt on the day I cleared the exam. I felt amazing, yaar. For a moment, I felt as if, the entire world had somehow gifted me a certain diamond, which is so priceless, and I felt alive. So, because the last 2 years were very difficult because I hadn't cleared the exam. This was my third attempt. So, I did that. And also my long-term dream and passion was to become an IPS officer. My first preference is IPS. The Indian Police Service is my first preference because I feel that the fastest remedy that the person can give to the society can be from the police, right? It's the most immediate redressal that they can provide. And plus I was inspired by so many IPS officers that I said I want to become an IPS officer. And that was my first preference, and I became an IPS officer. And I want each of you all to become an IAS officer. Each of you all want to become an IPS officer. Each of you all to become an IFS officer. Every single one of you has an officer inside you. In the IPS Academy in Hyderabad, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy, they have a statue, okay, in front of the academy, okay. In that it's written, Michelangelo has written something saying that there is a sculpture within each one of us, okay? Only you have to bring it out. So please bring out that beautiful sculpture within you, okay? Each of you all have it, okay? So please do that, and don't be deterred by anyone. A special message to all the girls, okay? To all the girls, all the women over here. I've seen most of my friends who are the lady friends that I have, they study very hard. But imagine they become 25 or 26. There's a lot of pressure from your family saying that, yaar, ab to, age ho gaya. Now you have to get married. If you don't get married, then you will not find a nice boy. And rishta milne ke liye bahut difficult ho jata hai. So, these things happen to you guys. So please don't fall for all these things. once you get married, it can be pretty hard for you all to study. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it can be difficult. I have seen my friends, facing a lot of problems studying after getting married. So if you can delay marriage, please delay it, and please study hard, because once you become an IAS or an IPS, yeah, it's not about you finding a rishta. The rishta will find you, and it's not a rishta. It will be rishtas, and rishtas into XXXXXXX. So that so many rishtas will find you. So please study. IAS bano, bahu mat bano. Okay, I mean, I'm not so great with Hindi, but this is my sincere advice to you. And for the guys, yeah, see, the thing with all the boys is that we feel that once we become 25, 26, we'll feel that, yeah, I don't have a salary, I don't have work, I have to take money from my parents, I have to do this, I have to do that. Yeah, so, all of us have this problem. We start losing our self-respect. So, for the guys, it can be very difficult. So I would suggest that you guys can take up some kind of a job, like a small part-time job in some coaching institution, write some articles, write this, you get paid something. That's enough for your sustenance. And so something like that you should do. And similarly, please don't fall into the trap of social media very much. So what happened to me while I was preparing, okay, was that so when I was 24, when I graduated, right? So being a lawyer, we get extremely good pay packages, okay? So something in like a nice 5 to 6 figure salary we get every month. So I didn't do that. I took up UPSC. So then what happened was I was really, everybody was earning well, everybody was getting a nice, everybody getting a nice salary, and like I'm bloody sitting with NCERT books and studying every day. It's so boring, and I'm sort of thinking, what's happening in my life here? Everybody's going forward. I'm stuck with, just these NCERTs. So, I was very irritated. So then, what used to happen every time I used to open Instagram and Facebook, what used to happen? Every other day, my friends, okay, they used to buy a car on an EMI, and then they used to put up a picture, and then they used to say, with my new car, okay, it will be a bloody i20 or an i10, but then, it's almost given like a pose of a Mercedes or something, okay? So that's what people used to do. On the other side, somebody used to get married, and then they used to go to honeymoon to California, and then they used to put up a status saying that, with my hubby going to California. Okay, so I mean, when I see stuff like that, it was so irritating, because everybody is going forward, but you are sitting back. But then let me tell you something. As soon as I cracked the exam, most of my friends, they messaged me and they said, dude, like, you're so awesome. You studied for 3 years. We worked for 3 years, but you have progressed career-wise at least 30 years in front of us. That's what they told me. And that is the satisfaction that you will get if you clear the exam. Okay? So even if everybody is going forward, everybody is doing well in their lives, everybody is buying a car or a house on an EMI, don't worry about it, because if you crack the exam, you will get a house which is bigger than everybody's house in your district as a DC or an SP. If you crack the exam, even if somebody else has an Audi or a Mercedes, your Innova Krista with that siren on top of it, or any car in your district with a siren on top of it, will have more clearance than everybody else. So you will be the real Bap of the Bap. Right? You will be the real king, real stud. You can change lives. You can do so much good work that people will appreciate you. So, like, you can be the change maker. So be the change maker. Okay? And so I think I've gone over the motivation aspect of it. And I really, with all my heart, with all my soul, I wish that each of you all clear the exam. And to all my brothers out there, my brothers writing the exam, this is a war. Each of us are soldiers. So I'm on the other side right now, but you are there. Okay, you're a soldier, you're a warrior, you're a champion. Okay, you're a champion, right? So, take all your weapons and go face the exam with all your heart, soul and spirit, and go conquer it. Go conquer it, be a winner. And once you're a winner, right, you'll come out and you'll guide more people to achieve their goals. and that's what you need to do. I had decided when I was writing the exam that I will make it a point to guide as many people as possible, to motivate as many people as possible, to go to places where people will learn, understand, and grow because of me. And that is what I'm doing today. And for all the girls out there, you guys are also definitely warriors, okay? Each of y'all has a Rani Lakshmi Ba in you, a Lakshmi Sehgal in you, and you have so much guts and glory within yourself. So please crack the exam with all your heart and become the next amazing IPS officer. I don't know, okay? I'm biased towards the Indian Police Service. So become the next IPS officer. जब वर्दी आता है ना, सब कुछ बदल जाता है, right? So get that uniform on yourself, and then you'll rock it. Okay. So I really do wish you all the best, and thank you so much for tuning in. Each of y'all, the good 600 people that tuned into this program, I'm very happy that I was able to make a small difference in your life, and thank you. All the best. I wish each of you all the best, and God bless. Jai Hind. Okay? Thank you guys. If you have any doubts, please do message me, DM me on Instagram. I think you can find my Instagram name in a post, I suppose. So DM me. My name is Rohan Jagadeesh. It's ROHAN JAGADEESH. You'll find me and message me. I will reply at the earliest. And all the best. Thank you. We'll do this some other time. If you have any other doubts, please message on the page or send me a message, and we'll do a live session. And thank you. Jai Hind. All the best. Salute to you guys.